Welcome to Fast Effect Double Speed Magic the Gathering from ELD's Time Vault Games Discord, as we are playing live each week, Wednesdays and Fridays, through Discord, growing the community, and we've got a Thoughtseize, seeing a hand with double force, a couple of lands, Daze, Icefang Codal, and Cavern Harpy. Overall, a pretty solid hand. Able to stand up against a lot, but this Thoughtseize, I wouldn't be surprised if it takes the Icefang Codal. No, it's going to take a Force of Will. All right. Oh, Lotus Petal. This is not going to be Goblins. So I think Heather's actually on Phoenix here. She has played both lists recently. I mean, so far this could be Storm. A Dark Ritual. Into Buried Alive. And this is going to prompt a Force of Will from Matt. And it's actually Phoenix, so I can tell you that she has been playing Phoenix. Obviously from the prompt, I was confused about what the heck she was playing, and that's one of the benefits of mixing it up. Your opponent can be very off guard depending on what type of lines you might have. You know, if Matt is questioning whether or not this is Tin Fins or not, you know, there's all sorts of possible considerations there, and how he might want to play moving forward, how good Oko is, if you think that a combo finish is lurking around the corner. You may prioritize getting the Aluren combo down to really seal the deal. And 3 mana for Euro. And Euro is actually very strong in Aluren. It's kind of a mid-rangey deck that also has a combo finish, and it's totally comfortable trying to ride out a threat like Euro backed up with Force of Wills and Daze. Different control elements. A Dark Ritual here. And really Phoenix, reading the display. Really, Phoenix is going to be looking to cast 3 spells and get some Phoenixes in the graveyard. 3 instants or sorceries. A Buried Alive. We've got a Daze being fired off. Lotus Petal pays the 1. And yes, it is confirmed Phoenix at this point. However, just 2 instants or sorceries there. And I feel like this deck wants Lava Dart. I'll have to see. I think Heather has responded to some of the other videos with her list. I feel like Buried Alive, is that just creatures? Am I doing this wrong? I know Entomb is any cards. Yeah, I guess Buried Alive must just be creatures. I have not sleeved that card up, I think, ever. I've certainly sold a ton of them. Yeah, it is just creatures. It'd be great if you could get a Lava Dart in the mix there. Intuition can be any cards, but that is a little more complicated. You'll end up with a Phoenix in hand. Alright, we've got Cabal Therapy. A Brainstorm in response from Matt. And we may actually get to see Phoenix's resiliency here. So it looks like the Cabal Therapy is going to whiff. One of the nice things about Phoenix is it doesn't care much about Icefang Codal. If it does die, it's pretty easy to return to the battlefield. Though so far that has not been the case here, as Heather's board consists entirely of a Badlands. And now Aluren. And this is going to be a disaster. I think Matt still has that Cavern Harpy, which will basically be a build your own Necropotent. So he's got a Euro, which is going to draw a card. Baron's going to return it to hand. He's going to be able to play it again and draw yet another card. And this time it's actually going to die. Baron's going to allow for a card draw. End of turn. I'm not totally sold on Baron right now. I mean, there's definitely a lot of upside. Previously, decks ran a card, it was like Dream Prowler or something. It was a 2 casting cost creature that when it entered the battlefield, you returned a permanent you control to your hand, and it didn't target. And that is pretty important for playing around some elements of the combo. You can actually break things up just a little bit easier when you have to target the creature. And a Bedlam Reveler is going to show up, but very likely too little too late, as Euro can even escape. A Cauldron Familiar enters the battlefield. Euro draws a card and goes away. He can be escaped to draw yet another one. And at this point, Matt just needs a Cavern Harpy or a Recruiter of the Guard, and this will be very, very over. Any line that leads to getting a Cavern Harpy in hand is just stone cold death. However, Ice Fang swings. So he still doesn't have it. Crazy. I mean, he's still in good shape, but the life gain off of Euro, not at all inconsequential when you're talking about a deck that's looking to assemble 3 damage at a time with Phoenix Strikes, Lightning Bolts, and Chain Lightnings. I didn't notice if Matt drew the card off of Baron's second ability that had returned Euro to hand. We've got 7 damage coming in. And a Monastery Swift Spear, but oh, Swift Spear was just cast and chump blocking Euro. That's all. Yeah, this feels pretty far gone for Phoenix. It is kind of a fast-paced type of combo deck, essentially. And at this point, now we've got Oko showing up, and I mean, this is pretty bad. Bedlam Reveler getting some prowess triggers, but Arclight Phoenix cast from hand. And, ooh, just a daze to brush that aside. That is pretty rough. Recruiter of the Guard, and mercifully, this one is over. Heather fighting valiantly, but Aluren just so far ahead, both on the board and just on the precipice of comboing off the whole time. Very difficult to imagine a scenario where Phoenix would have pulled back into that game. And even with the best of draws, it could all be undone immediately with a Cavern Harpy, Recruiter of the Guard, any of that getting to hand. All right, Heather leading out here with a land grant. And doesn't look like this is really going to assemble amazingly well. A Thoughtseize to follow up. I mean, she certainly has no shortage of spells. Thoughtseize may do a bit to stop Matt from comboing off. Oh, but double Aluren? Yikes. I mean, I guess she's going to have to take the Recruiter of the Guard or the Ponder. Taking Aluren doesn't do much unless you plan on getting another discard spell soon after. There's always the hope that she can draw a Cabal Therapy. She actually takes the Ponder, kind of keeping things largely known now. And Monastery Swiftspear. Oh, and she drew the Cabal Therapy. What a champion. Oh, but Matt has drawn a Force with no blue card. And we've got ourselves a game here. Considering going Chain Lightning to face, opting to hold off, potentially can be used to clear a blocker of some sort. Dark Ritual into Plague Engineer. That is going to prevent a Recruiter of the Guard from ever becoming a blocker. The other possibility there is putting out the possibility of a combo with Cavern Harpy or Icefang Coatl. There's really a lot of things you could name there that would be useful. I don't actually know which one would be best. Kind of depends on the tempo of the game. The Recruiter of the Guard getting something. I mean, it's going to be able to get whatever Matt wants. Alright, so it was not naming human. We'll see what line Heather opted to cut off. The deck is going to have a really tough time doing anything without Cavern Harpy in terms of comboing, but Icefang Coatl is the card that you probably least want to see, as it can actually trade with your Swiftspear and draws a card, meaning that you'll have to use Lightning Bolt or Chain Lightning to clear it. Icefang and Force of Will shown to be in hand. But at this point, Matt actually doesn't have 3 other snow permanents, so he's very much on the back foot. A Faithless Looting. And actually ditches the Chain Lightning. Looks like we're still in pre-combat. And a Thoughtseize is going to be fired off. That's going to force the Icefang to be played. This is likely going to just have to name Force of Will at this point. Force, Gilded, and Ponder. Actually, she could have picked whatever she wanted. I was thinking it was Cabal Therapy for a split second there. Euro coming back. And he's kind of a big deal here, undoing a bunch of the life loss and also just being an outstanding 6/6 blocker. And if Matt can build another graveyard, he may just be looking to turn this guy sideways, gain some life, draw some cards, be happy to trade with this Plague Engineer. If Ponder can find some more cantrips. You know, fetches and cantrips doesn't take much to get to 5 cards that are necessary for escape. Baron. Returns the Plague Engineer. That is definitely an upside for Baron, being able to bounce opposing creatures. particularly strong here as Heather did not have the mana to replay Plague Engineer until just now, using this Bloodstained Mire. Fetch out another non-blue duel. It's like all of the non-blue duels in this deck. And Plague Engineer does come back down. However, this time it gets Force of Willed. And that is going to do it, as Aluren, both games, really, the majority of the work was done without the combo. Game 2 didn't even show up, as both copies were stripped away by Cabal Therapy. The deck was still tenacious enough to get there. That is all for this one, but don't worry, there is a lot more. You can check out our older videos, and we're always putting out new videos from ELD's Time Vault Games in Bellingham, Massachusetts. If you want to help the channel, of course, you can like, subscribe, share, tap that notification bell so you can know the next time our new videos come out. Thanks for watching.